What's up, guys? This is Acidic Roots. We're gonna get into part 4 of Let's Play Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. Now, once again, these castles get intricate, and it's almost recommended that you're small. So, this level design is a lot more aimed at making sure that things are pixel perfect. So as long as you know that, and you can handle that, this is really just standard Mario. So I know that there's gamers out there that can handle extra Mario challenges like the Kaizo stuff, but you know, this is basically what preceded that, so you get an entire game devoted to it. But I'll tell you, this is one of the main reasons why I backed out of doing Worlds A through D, is because I don't know how many times it would have went through for me to actually be able to do it. And I think it's not permanent. I think maybe later in the year I'll go back and try to tackle it again. But you know, you just have to, I don't know. We're gonna focus on the good moments. So Luigi's in bright green, and it shows off Super Nintendo graphics rather well. Proud of it. It's colorful, all that good stuff. But this music almost feels if it's that's a classic Mario death for me, being close to the edge and dying from a shell like that, even though it shouldn't have hit me. But so I'm kind of wondering if the traction is going to be an issue in the last 4 worlds of the game, because I did get to World 9. I mean, you're going to see that I did use a Game Genie for this. So this is the video where the Game Genie comes out. I'm pretty certain that World 8 or Level 8, Stage 8-3 is the only real stage that I cannot beat. I'm pretty certain that in the entirety of Lost Levels, that's about the only stage that I wouldn't be able to complete. And other than that, the only real stage that got me mad was just Stage 7-3 with the springboards and the wind. But then I don't really remember Worlds A through D that well, so this kind of stands. I know I could probably beat World A, possibly World B. It just depends upon those last 2. So Luigi's a little gun shy this time. But actually, what you're gonna, when you play this game, if you're new to Lost Levels, I think you're gonna find that the maze stages are actually the easier of the ones you have to do, which back in the first Super Mario Brothers days or playthroughs, the maze stages were the worst ones, but not the case. Basically, you're going to want those just because it makes it simpler. The same thing with the water stages. I dislike them in Super Mario Brothers, but this time through, it's like, I'm glad to see them. Just because they pale in comparison to some of the tough stuff that you face. But once again, this is a parallel world, so that's the whole thing, is this doesn't even exist in the Mario universe, because I don't know the specific reason why, but this is like some sort of alternate type world or something where King Koopa's a little bit tougher, and you know, the enemies are a little bit smarter. I know if you're kind of asking for more details about this, I really wish this would have been explained a bit more, but you know, as of 1986, back then the instruction booklets basically kept the story to like a paragraph or 2. So that was what you got. I remember the days of the Super Nintendo when the instruction booklet was probably 25 or 30 pages and about the size of an adult man's hand, and then basically from there you just got the story and brief characters and that sort of thing. But so yeah, story to this is it's an alternate world, but still has the same storyline as Super Mario Brothers, though. Princess Toadstool is still gotten kidnapped, and she, you know, if you didn't know this, she is the only person that can turn the characters back to regular people. 'Cause the thing was that all the characters get turned to like those brick blocks that you see and various things in the scenery. They said that they got turned to objects, but Princess Toadstool is the only one who had the ability to revert them back to normal. So Bowser, you know, King Koopa, of course, kidnapped her and made sure that she couldn't do anything. But that's basically as it stands. Fairly simple, good enough to stand 30 years later as a standard Mario plot. And the same thing with Zelda. I mean, that basically, sometimes Ganon kidnaps Zelda, other times she's just in danger or something like that. I mean, Zelda's a little bit more intricate, but it's also more almost ready for a spin-off of some sort. Mario is just, I mean, there's just no way that, if you remember the Super Mario Brothers movie that came out in 1993, there really was no way for a movie to capture the Mario universe like that. I actually tried watching that movie back in like 2015 or so, and I noticed that it was a coming-of-age movie, so I just kind of backed out, but yeah, that was kind of... Obviously, it just depends upon whether or not that can become like a cult classic. But yeah, there's just too much. I mean, you would really need like Miyamoto to helm that movie himself in order to make it a good movie. I just don't know if Nintendo is interested in directing movies. They've really shown little to no interest in doing it. But I would say that Zelda would probably be the more likely. They'd probably make it like Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, just with more fantasy creatures. And I mean, there's been things, I've read in magazines, people saying like Link looks similar to these type people. I'd say Orlando Bloom or Kit Harington would be some of the folks that Link is like, even though they're not blonde haired. But you can't really do that with Mario. That's kind of the thing. I mean, you think, who would play him in a standard setting? What would be an actor that just looks exactly like Mario? Just doesn't have that same ring to it. I mean, he's short, he's kind of pudgy, and his mustache is a different color than his hair, so it's just all different sorts of stuff. But then you could suppose that the person that played Mario in the 90s movie might have done a good job. I think Bob Hoskins, yeah. But so the Return of the Wind. Now this is the stage. I got to 8-4, you know, for paying attention to this. I did get to 8-4, but really the next several stages basically determine your clout as a gamer. These are the ones that are going to test you the most, unless the remaining stages are tougher. So yeah, there is a strategy for getting past these guys. I almost want to try it, but I don't want to beat this game again to show how. So I mean, it is Mario. I mean, even, you know, folks have said like it doesn't remind them of something that Mario really should be doing. That's kind of what the United States said. They said, you know, they didn't want to ruin Mario's upcoming exposure as being a hard video game series. That's the reason why it didn't come out. And what that means is, obviously, and that's what I've thought is, a lot of these games are about just right difficulty, Super Mario World being the easiest, and I mean, this one is just kind of like a bonus. That's the main thing to say about it is if you need the extra challenge, this is kind of like the secret file that you dig up. You say, okay, I need something that's going to push my sanity to the limits. This one's for you. And folks have said Super Mario Sunshine is kind of a tough game. That may be the case if you're going for 100%. So, but really, just beating the game, it's fairly okay. So yes, we are in the sky. This is another Mario segment, is the clouds and the beanstalks. But this is the worst stage in the game, in my opinion, this upcoming stage. There's no way in hell I could have beaten it. You're in the next 9 minutes are just going to be deaths and having to resort to the Game Genie in order to beat it. Now, obviously, I could have tried until I could have beaten this game, but those you're going to see there's like Kaizo blocks in here, which is invisible blocks that deter you from being able to avoid the hammer enemies. So you'll see what I mean. It's getting ready to come up, and that if it were not for those, I probably would have been able to beat this stage. The whole thing. And I don't think there are power-ups on this stage, so it's not like 8-3 from the first Super Mario Brothers, where you can just use power-ups and get past them. You basically have to know what you're doing. Now, obviously, they want you to take the spring, but Luigi can make the jump, so that's a little trick for you if you get to this. See that? Oh, well, I did it that time, but that was kind of strange. I don't know. I suppose if I were enough of a masochist, I could go back to this stage and keep trying it incessantly until I finally did it, but it almost would seem if you can play video games without the frustration, without the raging, I still think it'd probably be around 80 or so deaths before you made progress. And I'm not making an assumption, I'm making an estimation. It's based upon most people. I mean, you get 5 lives per game over. I mean, it's dependent upon how much you die. So. That mushroom that came out when I jumped, that is a Kaizo block, and it's intending to make the decisions there even more split second. Now those spiked enemies right there are gonna fuck me because I need the platform to run, and of course they're gonna be there. So obviously this is an example of what you don't want to do. You can search this because they're gonna stay on the screen. Somehow I got through that. Now, if obviously I would save right here if you could do such a thing. That's another way I could probably beat the stage, but I mean, a lot of it is just based on luck. So, yeah, I mean, that sucked. That really sucked, getting past that part, and then, but you have to do it twice. I mean, the developers test you. They say, okay, you can do this once, you can do it twice. You proved you can master it, the stage is over after that. It's not that long a stage, it's just difficult. So, you want to take out the cloud enemy, because he's just going to make your life worse. Try to run past these spike guys. And see, That's the thing. I mean, it really has to be split second in order to beat that part. So it kind of makes me wonder if people made stages like this in Super Mario Maker. That came out a little while ago, and I'm almost curious if, you know, folks were demonic enough to do that. Obviously, I understand that people age 6 to age 30 were making, or older were making stages, but it just makes me wonder. I mean, that sort of stuff, that's a whole nother thing, Super Mario Maker. I mean, I do own a Wii U, but I still do not own that game. But I've almost thought, I mean, when I look at that, I want to try out those stages, but I don't want to get lost in the craziness. For me, it's not so much about seeing Link or Samus Aran and Mario, it's more about the stage design. This kind of thing. I know there's some craziness in it, but I'm more saying, like, yeah, that was a badass stage. That type stuff. Like, this is a badass stage, it just is too tough. I mean, I like the idea of it being in the sky and the hammer enemies posing a threat, but those Kaizo blocks shouldn't have been there. You know, but other than that, it would have been a fairly simple run. So, but yeah, and I'm definitely, I don't want folks thinking I'm like some sort of Mario guru or something. It's not so much about that. This is playing, you know, I enjoy this series. You know, I think most people have played these games, so it's something, you know, when you've played something since before you could really walk, or, you know, at least within the first year of you walking, it, you know, does hold semblance. So, but yeah, so that was it. You know, that was my silent rage quit for saying fuck this. I'm not gonna be able to beat this without cheats. So, but the funny thing is, the cheat that you put on in this game, you can still die from damage. You know, the invincible guy, you can still die from damage. So, you know, obviously, unless you just decide to run through the enemies, you're gonna see what I mean. I still have to get through the stage and do the tricks and traps, but it just makes it somewhat of an easier venture. So, but we've got 2 minutes left, so this is getting ready to happen. I gotta be careful with Luigi's traction. That's the kind of motion that I need more often, is that. I keep forgetting about the jump. So, but so I'm kind of running low on commentary, but I'm just trying to figure out what else applies. So that was seamless right there. That was a definite seamless little jump. But okay, use the springboard to your advantage and get past it. But second mistake. But don't worry, this stage gets beaten in this video, and the funny thing about it is I can beat the last normal stage of the game, but I can't beat this stage. So the King Koopa stage that comes next, which is a lot worse of a castle, there are some nasty little segments in that stage. See, die. You know, you can still die even though you're not supposed to. But that stage has some nasty little traps. It's a maze stage on top of that. There's a time limit on top of that. And really, supposing you get there, if you die, you have to do it all over. It doesn't matter. There is no... So basically, you do have to one take it and one hit it. because there's no power-ups either. So I do think, obviously, that is some sort of testament to my skill as a gamer. The fact that I can beat that stage, just not this stage. But this is it. You know, this is definitely this is the final part. If you can make it past those hammer enemies 2 times, that signals that you deserve to beat the stage. But, you know, middle finger to the Kaizo blocks.